Letters to the Editor is an author-driven podcast created and directed by Enrique Stuyck, a journalist, lawyer and entrepreneur from Madrid. Enrique holds a Guinness World Record for his letters to the editor and has had 10,000 letters published in 70 Spanish newspapers. In this podcast, we will read one letter a day for a whole year, selected from his books, Ocurrencias, Witticisms, Reflections on Life. The title of today's letter is, I Find It Hard to Believe. Even though this information has come to me from a very reliable source, I just can't wrap my head around the idea that young people allow themselves to be humiliated by bouncers at certain nightclubs. These bouncers, who discriminate at will and with very poor manners against the young men and women who, eager to enter the trendiest temples of the moment, endure all kinds of humiliation and harassment and look for any possible way to sneak in whatever way they can, just so they can brag and say they have been to such and such a place and tell their friends they've had the best night of their lives. Apparently, these so-called doormen, who from what I hear are more like wardrobes with arms, given their size, decide who gets in and who doesn't, basing their criteria on such things like skin colour, clothing or hairstyle. Some of the candidates trying to get in show up dressed in their finest attire and are turned away because of that, because they are wearing a suit and tie, when the current cool look is the trendy designer name label polo, ripped jeans and €500 trainers. Quite honestly, I still find it hard to believe, even though the person who told me deserves my full trust. She studies psychology, and it wasn't easy for her to get into one of these temples of youth culture to do some research for her degree. She told me she had to dress completely out of character, like putting on a costume just to be let in. This letter was published in 4 newspapers in July 2022. Discover more episodes at letterstotheeditorpodcast.com. And remember to subscribe and rate the podcast on your favourite platform. Letters translated by Ana Marchena. Editing by Margot Martin. Podcast produced by Jorge Marin, Ove Productora. Branding and visual identity by Samuel Ferrer, Quinton Brands. Readings by Susanna Galan.